Hi, I'm resident of Collinwood, and joining me is Daniel Culver Killenberg. We're here to talk about Resident Evil 8, the reveal trailer. So what did you think, man? It looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I know people aren't gonna like this, but I'll be the first to say I'm actually glad. Like you said, I like the whole idea. Like even the part about for those who haven't seen the trailer. Well, I guess it's not really spoilers to the trailer. Chris even actually shoots. Well, who appears to be Mia. Maybe it's not really her. Maybe it's like a clone. But I guess we'll have to play the game to find out.
Yeah, here's the one thing I'll take away from the trailer, because there was some of this in Resident Evil 7. Don't believe everything you see.
Oh yeah, that's true too. I'm kind of questioning some of the complaints. Like people are saying there's a witch in it. It's like, there's an old lady wearing a cloak. Well, maybe I shouldn't say lady. No offense to old ladies out there. I mean like, an older lady, but she could just be an older lady. She might just not be a witch or anything.
Yeah, I think here's the one thing I'll ask you, because I think some of the complaints I've seen, which I'm not, I'm going to downplay a lot of the complaints, because again, we don't know what. We know there's werewolves. We know there may be vampires even in the game. Do you think that this is a new virus that they're using, or is this an older virus that we're familiar with?
As weird as it sounds, I think it's a new virus, but one idea I thought of is maybe it's actually the mold. The mold from Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, here's the one thing I'll say. The Neo Umbrella, to me, I think there's going to be something with them in this. I'm not sure, but I'm going to give you a lot of credit because you called this, because this has sort of been teased that Blue Umbrella may not be as good as we all thought. And I'm thinking, Daniel already called that one a while back ago.
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah. I actually did. For those who don't know, I think it's called, it has something to do with Blue Umbrella. I think it's is Blue Umbrella actually evil or something like that?
Yeah, when we get done here, I'll put a link to the video. But yeah, do you think that? What do you think of one of Wesker's kids being involved in this?
That actually is an interesting concept. Oh wait, I know they did mention Alex Webb. I think that's your. They could have. I wouldn't doubt they would have his kids, obviously. You know how they are with. And actually, who knows? Maybe this is a different Alex Wesker than the one in Revelations 2.
Yeah.
You know how some people have the same names. I know some. Some.
I'm thinking maybe it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead and repeat that because you broke up a little bit.
I did mention maybe it's a different Alex Wesker than the one in Revelation. That could be I don't know, maybe that part's not true, but I could see this being Wesker's kid. You just never know with Resident Evil.
I think there's going to be a lot to this. I'm not going to take everything that they say about who's in this, other than Ethan, because even with Chris, because I'll tell you why. With the whole Alex Wesker thing, it's not unlike Umbrella to use clones. You've said this, and I give you a lot of credit, because in Resident Evil, I think it was 6, even though we hate it, there's a clone Ada, okay? So, I'm not going to put it past Umbrella, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. And also, and I hate to bring this up because I know a lot of the fans of the games don't like them and we're included, but the movies have done the clone thing too,
I think now here's a question for you, because with 7, they had this little girl sort of as the virus. She was sort of infecting people. And that sort of seems, even like with Nemesis, even in the original and the remake, Nemesis was able to turn zombies into like even more powerful zombies. So do you think that, do you think it's another, they have like a person carrying the virus, or do you think this is in like a valve, in like I guess a lab, a science lab, we'll say?
Oh yeah, I actually could see the science lab, thing. And actually, that's what I was thinking. Like Evelyn, if you think about it, she had like superpowers, kind of. And if you know, she looked like one of her forms is she looked like an old lady. So, that's why I'm thinking the witch might actually be someone like her.
I'm just wondering how many. Here's the thing, too. Here's another thing we can't ignore. Look how many tyrants there were that Umbrella made in those labs that they didn't release. I'm wondering how many Evelyns they made.
Oh, I never thought about that. That's actually that's a good question.
You know what I mean? Because we could be walking in 8 and it could be like a different Evelyn and we're in deep shit. Like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah, that video you're talking about, it's Blue Umbrella, good or bad?
Yeah, it's really a great video you did. And I loved it because it was really going off the game well. I remember when Chris was revealed in Resident Evil 7, the first thing people were saying, even in the chat, even in the Facebook groups that we're in, they were saying they didn't think it was Chris. They thought it was Hunk because of him coming out of a blue umbrella. And I think we were saying, no, it is Chris. We were like, no, it's Chris. But, so do you think that there's going to be any confusion about who any characters are in this, or no?
I think there might be with Chris, as weird as it sounds, because like some people have actually pointed this out already. Like they redesigned him again, but he looks more like he did in Resident Evil 5 and 6 now, which I don't really get. See, that's the thing, is they complain, but then when things are changed back, they complain again.
Again, though, too, he could have just aged.
I think that's what happened. I know people looked into it too much. I think people are overthinking. I think it's the one in 7 is Chris and the one in 8 is Chris. But I think just simply it's a redesign. But storyline wise, he just aged.
Yeah. So let's talk about a big discussion going on with this too. Some people are saying Chris Redfield may die in this. Would you be okay with that?
Oh yeah, with him. Oh, sorry, I accidentally hit mute. I think I don't think Chris is gonna die, but it is possible. Like I know it says the story comes to a close, but I'm thinking that might be Ethan's. But I don't even think Ethan's gonna die. I actually think it's. You notice it's like I think 8 is basically gonna be a sequel to 7.
Yeah. Do you think that Ethan, because remember, Ethan's girlfriend was a spy. She worked for Umbrella in many ways. She was, well, I shouldn't say spy, I'll say handler. She was sort of like, she was Evelyn's handler, we'll say. Okay? Or the girl's handler. She was trying to, like, the little girl seemed to listen to her when they were on the boat, I guess. And here's what I'll say. Do you think Ethan is just a recruit for Chris, spying on his girlfriend now, even with the child?
Yeah, I could actually see that, I know also people have pointed out, like, there's something that leaked out, I think it was in the trailer, but I could be wrong, where it kind of looks like a fetus in the middle as well.
Yeah, they've.
Actually, that was in the leaks. Remember they said she was pregnant?
Yeah, they have a kid, I guess. It looks like, yeah, in the trailer they have a kid, and there's werewolves, which I'm excited for. I think this. What are your thoughts about this game being set in Romania?
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting setting. Like, it's um, like something that I get. I shouldn't say that. I mean, like, it's kind of. I think it's a cool idea. Like, how do you feel about it?
I think it. I like the setting because again, you're dealing not just with zombies, but seemingly the supernatural. I think this is going to be, even though we're getting a sequel to 8, I think we're going to see something a lot different than what we saw in 8 from a creature standpoint. I do think we're going to see zombies, mind you, and lickers, because I think that's been rumored, if not confirmed. But I think with the werewolves and vampires, we're going to get a dose of those, and a heavy dose of those in this game, and we're going to get the zombies in between. I am curious to see exactly how this all comes about. Like what brings this on? Is this is this a virus? What's going on? Because with Umbrella, and you know this, Umbrella is just, they always have their hands in the middle of something, whether it's directly or indirectly.
Yeah, that's actually true too. You think it's possible that um, that somehow like Mia's baby, or if unborn baby is actually Evelyn? Like somehow the cult or whatever injects Evelyn inside of her.
I actually would not put that past this because, and that's a great point you're bringing up too, because the virus can be injected. I mean, so even into the fetus. So you could be right. I mean, that's going to be interesting to see if that is the case. And I wouldn't mind that again, because again, you want the child to sort of be the victim here. You want to feel sorry for the kid more so than anybody. And I would definitely do it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Well, do you think the cult? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, you think the cult or even the creature or even some of the creatures that attack you will speak Romanian?
I would not be surprised if that's the case. And what I'll say look, this is exactly why I leave subtitles on in games anymore in case creatures speak another language that I don't understand. Because my wife asked this. She goes, "Why do you put the subtitles on?" I said, "Listen, even though I put this game in English, you never know." I said, any game, you never know when you might run into a character who doesn't speak English and then you don't understand a goddamn word they're saying. So I wouldn't mind that, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
It's actually interesting because I never thought about that, but I turn the subtitles on too, but I just have been doing that since the PS2 days. Just kind of never stopped doing it.
Right? It's just it's the best option. To me, the subtitles has always been the best option ever since then, because you could just, yeah, you can listen to what they say, but you can also read what they're saying too and look at the dialogue, and you're just curious, okay, is the dialogue matching up with the character? And yes. And then there's also, I'm always waiting for a character to just not speak English, and then the subtitles to translate it for me. That's what I've always waited for. So I would not mind this at all if they start doing that in this game, in this new game. What would you think of this?
I actually wouldn't mind it because, like you said, we could just put on subtitles, and it's more realistic, And they did it with Resident Evil 4. However, I don't know if you know this, but they're actually speaking the wrong type of Spanish. It's post-fake takes in Spain, but they're speaking Latin American Spanish.
Yeah, with 4, I noticed that it's really weird. They're not really. You're right. They're not speaking Spanish. They're not speaking like in Spain. They're speaking Latin American, and it's like, well, wait, where is this taking place again? It's just like, yeah, 4 is from a geological.
For those who aren't familiar.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just let people know, like, for those who aren't familiar, Latin American Spanish is like what its name implies. That's the type of Spanish they speak in Latin America. And for those that don't know what I mean, that's like the Spanish you would hear in like Mexico. Like, that's not the type of. Yes, it's Spanish, but it's not the right type of Spanish though. As weird as it sounds, there's multiple types of it.
Right, there's different degrees of it. Like, and what's weird about it too is some of the cult members in 4 that you hear in 4, like some of them like aren't totally speaking Latin American either. Some of them are just speaking American if you catch it. It's just like, wait a second, are these people like what's the deal? Where is this geologically located? Yeah, 4. Go ahead.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Another thing, I hate to say this, but the plot of Resident Evil 4 doesn't really entirely make sense either. Like, they want to infect, they infect the president's daughter, and they infect, Ashley and Leon, and they do that to infect, America, but then they won't let you leave. Like, they're trying to kill you still.
Yeah, I know, right? They inject you, they inject the daughter. It's like, well, just ship us both back because we're infected. And they don't. They try to kill Leon. Yep.
You're gonna try to stop it
now. Yeah. It's crazy that 4 continuity wise isn't the best. It has interesting gunplay. Where this game gets you is the fact that Leon's the main character.
Well, that's true. I'm actually surprised you don't catch that about the plot. I'm pretty sure people do, but everyone acts like it's the greatest game of all time. And I mean, seen some people say it, like I saw an almost flawless game.
No, I wouldn't say it's a flawless game. Here's the thing too, Leon. When you see Leon, he's assigned this protection detail to rescue the president's daughter. You don't know how he got on it right away. You don't know why he's specifically is selected right away. And really, he's the only one they send. And it's like, you're sending one person to rescue the president's daughter. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And
yeah, that's true.
Then you find out Leon was in the military. Like, he joined like a militia or military in the game. So, I mean, there's things in the game that are just like mind-boggling and head-scratching, but my ranking for 4 is like this. I give it, because I love Leon, I give it a 4.5. The gunplay is good. Is the storyline great? Hell no. It's got so many plot holes. Just like the movies.
Oh yeah, that's true. For those who are saying that we're saying Resident Evil 4 is a bad game, we're not saying that. Like, I'll be the first to admit this. Dragon Ball has a lot of plot holes in it.
Oh goodness. Oh, like you're meaning the game, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, I was just saying, like, that's the movies have a lot of plot holes. Like, well, I mean, the Resident Evil movies, but yeah, I was just saying, like, Dragon Ball. Okay, I shouldn't say that like a lot, but yeah, Dragon Ball isn't like perfect with continuity either. You know, we're both huge fans of that, so people can't say, "Oh, well, you just hate it because it's plot holes." Like, no. Well, I mean, like we were saying, really, that game didn't do too, but that doesn't mean we're saying it's a bad game, you know.
No, here's the pros and cons of it. The pros is you get to be Leon. You get to. I don't mind the fighting style and the gunplay is really good. They give you a good variety of guns. I didn't really love the gun shopkeeper. I thought that made no sense. That's the con. The pro is the guy who is sort of helping you, but he's also not working for you. He's not like for you or against you. But he's like an interesting character. I forget his name. But then they kill him off, and it's like, I sort of wish they would have kept him around, but they don't. And then there's Ada, which I like the appearance of Ada, but it's like, okay, Ada in this game sort of makes no sense. It's almost like they threw her in there just because Leon's there.
Oh yeah, I think that guy you're talking about, is that Lewis?
Yes.
I actually agree. I think he should have been longer. The thing with Ada is I think you're right, because you notice that she's also in Resident Evil 6, and she's in one of the animated movies too. It's like when she was in Resident Evil 6, I thought to myself, so when's the wedding?
Right. It's like, just get married already. Get hitched. They have these wonderful things called shotgun weddings. But I do... Right, I loved Lewis. Like, Lewis was really a good character for 4. But again, they kill him off, and they don't really give you enough of him because they're going to kill him off. To me, take Leon out of this and make Lewis your character, and don't have Ada.
Yeah, I actually agree on that. With Resident Evil 7, I just thought about this. Like, we talk about Wesker's like daughter possibly being in it, but do you think his son Jake?
Go ahead and repeat that again. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You know how like in Resident Evil 8, like how they're gonna have his daughter, well, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that his son from Resident Evil 6 will show up?
Jake, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say no, and I'll tell you why. I think there's a lot in this game already from just the trailer. Now, could he be like a late arrival or a sure? I mean, I'm not gonna. Again, I'm gonna go no, but I wouldn't mind seeing Jake Wesker again somewhere down the line. Just not in this game quite yet.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's gonna show up anyway. It's a good question. I could possibly see it happening. For those that don't know, Jake is not actually a bad guy. He actually decided not to be like his dad, so we had something they could do, like he stops his sister or something, you know. But you never know; they might not. They probably won't do that. You know how Capcom is.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Do you think we get the reveal of who is behind Blue Umbrella in this game, or no?
I think we will, at the end, but then they'll actually leave it up.
Yeah.
You know, for the next scene.
Yeah, that would be smart too. If they leave this up for the next sequel, like Daniel's saying, I wouldn't mind that. Let me think. Do you...
Oh, what if...
Go ahead.
Oh, what if they put Alice in this?
You had to slip that in there. No. God, no. Listen. They should have... You know what? As mad as I was about the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis game, The way they did the remake, they should have just fucking put Alice in that goddamn game. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Listen, but yeah, I think really, to be fair to Capcom, how good this game's going to be, you're going to see sort of why 3 got left in the dust.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I found something else about the movies that I don't know if you know about this, but did you know Sheva is in one of the movies?
Wait, from 5?
Yeah, she's in. I think it's in Extinction, but I'm not sure. But yeah, she's in there. Like, she even says to a guy like, "I'm Sheva." I was like, "Wait, that's Sheva?" Because I'm surprised they even used her. I don't, you know.
She's not even in really that many games. She's only in 5.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, what the hell? See,
yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
see now, I'm like tempted to like go like literally watch the Resident Evil movies. I'm getting tempted by this because if I hear Sheva, I'm gonna shake my head and be like, "God damn it, Daniel! What the hell, man? Like, Jesus!" Oh God.
Well, let's see if I can find that on YouTube.
Oh shit.
I can't remember who it is. I think it's Extinction. I think it's probably because Extinction came out the same year, but then again, the spider, I don't know, because the spider thing didn't show up until, like, what, the 5th movie? So I don't see why Sheva was in the 3rd or 4th, and then the spider thing was in the 5th, so.
It's just shocking that they put a character who literally only appeared in one Resident Evil game, and I mean one, in 5, and was about the most pointless character you could have had in a game. And that's no offense to, like...
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean?
She's not the most annoying character, though. The most annoying is Alice. Yeah, I said it.
True. I'll say this. Sheva in the game is okay, but do you feel like in 5 that you honestly need her in that game?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I said in Resident Evil 5, do you think do you think there's like a .2 Sheva being in the game?
Oh, not that I can think of. I know she was in the BSAA, but that's all I can think of, really.
Yeah, she's like Chris's... And 6 sort of has this with Chris's new partner, but I don't mind Chris's new partner in 6 because he's actually useful. They actually make him useful in 6, and then they kill him off. Like, he dies. Pierce. Pierce.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. He is, there is a manga called the Murhawa Desire. The Murhawa Desire that takes place in between 5 and 6. And he actually is in that, you know. But like I said, that takes place before 6, so I don't know if that's really... And it's a manga, so let's be honest.
Oh, wow. Do you think we'll see any other Resident Evil, like old Resident Evil characters in this new game?
You know, I have been thinking about it. I kind of wonder if Leon is going to be it, because like a lot of people point out, you know, Leon's always in the even numbered games, and it makes sense because this is a village, just like in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, that's sort of... My hope is that Chris, with whether he's recruited Ethan or not, has recruited new members for the whole Blue Umbrella thing, and that maybe one of them's Leon. So, I'm with you. Leon could be in this game, and I'm hoping he is. No Ada.
Yeah, but me too. Oh, yeah. Oh, what if Ada is in it, but they get Mila Jovovich to play her?
Like, voice her?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh God. I will quickly refund my video game purchase very quickly.
Well, yeah, we may have talked about this before, but she actually did say that if Alice was put in the game, she would be willing to voice her.
Here's the thing too. If that honestly happens, then she should be the only one that voices her. But we're hoping that never, ever, ever, ever happens. Oh God. Again, I want to stress
Yep.
that.
I don't know if. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, I don't know what I'd do if they actually put Alice in the games. To be honest, I know we joke about, but in reality, I really don't want that happening.
I want to make this clear. Me and Daniel don't hate Mila Jovovich. We just hate Alice.
Yeah, we just hate Alice. Yeah.
We don't like Alice. But so what's something with this game? Do you think we'll see any surprises in this game? I know we're hearing werewolves, vampires, Chris Redfield. We think maybe Leon. We're hoping for Leon. Do you think we'll see any other surprises in this game?
It's actually a good question. I'm not sure. Like, well, I know we're gonna see like a boss, but maybe we're gonna see like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see like someone turn completely into a wolf. I know it's like not that really that big a surprise, but like instead of like they start to like they fully turn them, and then eventually start mutating into something else.
That would be cool if we do see that. That would be very, very like sick and graphical. I do have one. I think whoever the reveal is behind Blue Umbrella, it'll be somebody Chris is very familiar with, and it'll be very, very shocking to all of us.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So.
Now, I know I'm saying like, do you think? I know a lot of people are saying like, Chris is the bad guy. I know there's a big assumption, but do you think he is, or do you think he's actually doing the right thing? I think he's doing the right thing personally.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think Chris. Remember, the DLC in 7 was called Not a Hero. Chris, and we've pointed this out before. Chris doesn't fully trust Blue Umbrella either, so I think Chris is of the mindset of, I don't trust anybody to the point now. Like, he's with a team, but whether he trusts them or not, who the hell knows? And that's something we're not going to find out until we play the game ourselves. I would say with this, go into this with the most open mind possible and be ready for anything to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. I know, like, I could see like Chris not trusting anyone and like, stuff because like there's all this crap has happened to him. Like there was the mansion, then there was let's be honest, the mansion was pretty messed up itself. Then there was the stuff that happened in Africa, and there was the whole thing with Jill and all that, and then there's 6. His partner dies. So I could see why he might pretty much be dead inside, by this point.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is one of those characters. The other thing Chris and Jill have in common is they've both been through complete hell, and again, they're not strangers to any of this shit that we see in this upcoming game. To them, I mean, they might be to the point of numb of this, and just to the point of, what, fuck it. If I have to pull a trigger to end this, no matter who it's at, I'm gonna do it. That doesn't necessarily make somebody bad, but you got to question their sanity at some point. So I'm sort of, again, I don't want to read too much into the trailer because again, we could just be getting misled a little bit, but we will see. We will see.
That's true. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to mention. I forgot to mention the events of Code Veronica and Revelations as well. That also stuff that like could have led him to be like that.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked. The one thing that shocked me with 7 is the fact that Chris let himself be recruited by anybody. You know what I mean? Like, after everything he's been through.
Yeah, actually, I'm too, to be honest. However, he did say, like, at the end of 5 that, fighting for the cause was worth it. But then again, 6 it's kind of weird because, like, you made a point there, but 6 in itself contradicted what I said as well, because then he's, like, all depressed,
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if they kill him or if they don't kill him and where they take him. I do think Chris has always been an interesting character since 1. So I'm excited for this game. I know you are too.
What if they do introduce Alice, but then I think I may have made this joke before, but screw it, I'll make it again. What if they do introduce Alice, but she dies, like, in the same cutscene?
That would be fine by me. I'd be alright with that. Have Chris shoot her. Have that be who Chris is shooting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting if that's what happened.
I could live with that. like, okay, I'm good with that. I know, usually we go off topic here, and I will. What do you think of Halloween 2020 and us we're going to be getting flashback sequences to 1978?
I got a cool idea, because, like I said, I think I mentioned this before, but, I didn't really like how, they said that he was arrested, Michael Myers was arrested later that night, but we're just supposed to, like, they never showed us it happen. We're supposed to, like, accept that it happened. Like, I'm glad we're finally got a flashback to see that. Well, hopefully,
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. How about you?
I do, too. I'm curious to see how many narratives of 1978 we're going to get. Because, again, we have all these pieces coming. We have Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, Lonnie Lamb, Sheriff Brackett. You and I have been hoping for Lee Brackett. We were hoping for Lee Brackett in 2018, and now they're going to give us him. That's the only real persons, like, and I'm not trying to cut these other characters short or out, but the only one I'm interested in is Brackett's story.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. On that too. And yeah, like, Hawking actually looks like him. That's weird because I kind of hope that leads to somewhere too. Like maybe that's like his cousin, and that's why he was like, well, maybe that, maybe that could explain, like, Brackett left. They could say, like, oh, Hawking is his cousin, and that he decided to take over because of Annie getting killed.
Yeah, I think I can't wait to see, like, we saw like in the original Halloween 2, you see, like, the emotion of Brackett. 40 years later, I'm curious to see what emotion that is now for him with losing Annie. Like, does he blame Loomis? Does he blame... Because you've heard of survivors' guilt. Some people blame survivors themselves. And I'm curious to see, does he blame Lori at all for living through that night and not hit... Like, why did she live and why not his daughter, sort of? I'm curious to see if there's any bit of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I accidentally said Hawking. It's Hawkins. I know, people are probably going to point that out, but, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, we all... Listen, we all make mistakes. Is there any... Do you think with the 1978 flashbacks, do you think we get? I think it's been rumored that we're going to get Sam Loomis. So do you think we get that?
I've been wondering about that because, like, because it's kind of a lose-lose situation with the movie studio. Because say they use like a different actor, people might get mad because they're like, well, you can't replace Donald Pleasance. And let's be honest, if they use CGI, people will say that it's tasteless. But that's where I'm not sure because it seems like they would. I don't know. It's weird because like I could see like people having issues with it, but I don't know. It's really.
It's
I'm trying to figure out how they could do the whole flashback thing without using him, like, because,
I think if the fact that the biggest risk, and you're pointing this out too, the biggest risk they're taking with 1978, with going back, is Loomis himself, because Donald Pleasance is so beloved by everybody in the Halloween community that you don't want to tarnish any of that legacy at all. Even with a retcon, even with jumping 40 years later and now potentially showing his character through, with somebody else, or whether it's CGI or whatever, you don't want to tarnish any legacy that has been set by a great, great actor.
Yeah, it's true. And like even a lot of people didn't even like, and I'm one of those people to be honest, didn't like Rob Zombie's portrayal. But see, I didn't like Rob Zombie's portrayal because Loomis is the opposite of how he dealt in Rob Zombie's version. I may point that out in my reviews, to be honest.
Yeah, now, did you see the theatrical version of his one?
Oh, actually, as weird as it sounds, I have not. Like, I've only seen the unrated versions. I've heard the theatrical ones are better, though.
Go watch the theatrical version. I like the theatrical version of Malcolm McDowell's Loomis. Malcolm McDowell's Loomis in the theatrical version is really, really good. And then once they get to 2, it's shit. But that's the only good thing.
Man, that sucks.
I know, right? Like I said, they 180 the character from the theatrical to part 2. And I know I'm recommending Rob Zombie's Halloween. I usually don't, and I'm not trying to recommend it, but go watch the theatrical, because Malcolm McDowell's performance of Loomis in that is actually really good. I like that version of his Loomis. I don't love the film. I just like his version there.
See, that's... oh, yeah, that's understandable. Now, with the theatrical one, with his 2 movies, when they released the complete DVD, maybe the complete Blu-ray set, I don't get why they didn't just put the theatrical and the unrated one on one disc, That way you can watch either one. Because I know they've done that with regular DVDs, so why not Blu-ray?
I don't get that either. Actually, that's the weird part with Rob Zombie's Halloweens. They're separate. Like, the unrated is not with the theatrical, nor is the theatrical with the unrated. You literally have to buy this shit separately. And literally, I tell my wife this all the time. I'm like, it's insane. The fact that you have to buy this, basically one person's movie twice, is insane.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, who thinks of this shit to do? Like seriously, I have better things to spend my money on. It's like, come on. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you could be buying you could have been spending that money on a Dragon Ball DVD set.
That's exactly it too. It's like I have all these Dragon Ball things to collect and things to collect. It's like, listen, I can't be spending my money on too many Rob Zombie movies. Like, come on. But yeah, I definitely check out the theatrical performance of Malcolm McDowell's Loomis. It's a lot better. I think you'll enjoy it. I can't say you'll enjoy the movie, but you'll enjoy his performance, I think.
Now, one thing Malcolm McDowell did say is he claims that Rob Zombie, told him not to watch the original because it sucked. I could see why he'd be pissed by that, but let's be honest though, he had 29 years to watch it.
Here's the thing about that though too. Most actors either don't watch other actors or they don't watch themselves. Robert Redford for years would not watch himself. He wouldn't watch himself. Finally, his grandson, I believe it was, said, "Granddad, I want to watch The Sting with you." And that's one of Robert Redford's best films with Paul Newman. And it's a good movie. And that's the only way he sat down and watched himself was with his grandkid. So he finally watched himself perform in that movie. And then he made a public comment. He goes, "God, I spent more time running in that movie than I did actually acting, that I did any dialogue." And he does. He spends a lot of time running. His character does. But, so, yeah, it's a good movie. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. But, so, yeah, there's that. Most actors, I don't think, do watch themselves or watch other actors. Because, again, you're judging. You don't want to be judgmental of a performance you have to follow, right? I mean, that's something I think a lot of actors experience. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
I'll give a great example. I don't know if Ben Cross watched Jonathan Frid, but whether he did or didn't, I don't care, because he made Barnabas his own. Like in the revival, he was not Frid's Barnabas. And that's something, like, if they did Barnabas today, I don't want Frid's Barnabas or Cross's Barnabas. I want someone to be their own. Now, whatever that is for them, be it. But
oh yeah, that's a good point too. Like you don't want. I could see that point. You don't want to watch the same exact thing.
No, that's sort of where I'm picky about that. I don't want to see the same exact portrayal done that I've already seen. Like, I don't want to see the same portrayal of the character I've already been introduced to by a different actor, that is, I'll say.
You're telling me about, like, actors not... Oh yeah, this thing about you're talking about how, like, the actors don't watch the movies they play. Well, sometimes. That actually reminds me of something. I was talking to one of my brothers about this. I don't think the guy who played Goku in Evolution actually watched Evolution. I know it might be something to do with that, but it might be because it's actually bad. Now, the reason I say that is he did an interview with, or I think it was on the special features of the DVD, but it could be wrong because I saw it on YouTube. But the interview, what he would expect to see, what he wanted to see in the sequel. Because for those that don't know, they were actually going to make a sequel to that. And he said he would like to see, like Gohan, obviously, and Raditz coming to Earth. See, here's the problem. Evolution's timeline makes it really not possible for Raditz to show up, because for those that haven't seen Evolution, Goku is a Ozaru now. Instead of a form that's supposed to be what he was originally. And he's supposedly from 2,000 years ago. And he was Piccolo's disciple, and he came to Earth. So I don't see how they could actually do Raditz in Evolution's timeline, unless they changed it again or something. I don't know.
We've talked about this. They need to get Akira Toriyama to write a Dragon Ball Z movie to really fix all this shit.
Oh, what's funny? I was actually thinking about making a movie pitch that said, like, how to fix Dragon Ball Evolution with a sequel, which I actually thought of it for days. Like, I thought, like, maybe it's a bad idea, but then it dawned on me. It's not possible. Because, so it's like, well,
There is no fixing that mess they made, dude. Like, the only thing fixing that is, like, a complete reboot. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's true. And people might have liked my ideas, too. Like, I was going to have it, like, so, like, Piccolo, Lord Piccolo, as he's called, like, lays an egg, because, like, in mine, he was going to, like, not be able to save himself. Like, he was supposed to come back, but I was going to change it.
Yeah.
That, like, have it so he laid an egg, which, that's led to the But I see, I was gonna do that, like have Piccolo like look like what he's supposed to, like dark green, and have those things on his arms. But you know,
Listen, your ideas that I've seen you write Dragon Ball, man. Your story is 10 times better than theirs ever was, dude. Trust me.
well, thanks.
If you guys haven't checked out Daniel's Dragon Ball GT story, divineart.com, Killenberg, I believe, on there. Go check him out. Definitely, really, really good stuff. Is there anything you want to add before we go here?
Not that I can think of, to be honest. That's weird because you just like, I usually have a bunch of stuff.
No. I want to thank Daniel for joining me. Thank you so much, man. I always have fun bringing you on here. We always have fun. Thank you so much. Link will be in the description box for Daniel's channel for Blue Umbrella. I'm going to try to leave a link in the description box for his divineart.com. You can go check out his stories. He's at Killenberg on Twitter. Thank you, my man. You have a good night.
Oh, yeah, you too.
Yep, bye.